What's up? Today I'm going to be doing some backtesting on gold, and I'm going to show you the Google Sheet I use to keep track of all this data. So I've made a template at first that looks like this, and then I can just fill in all the data. And when I first made that template, it did take a lot of work, but ever since then I've been able to use this template, and I just fill in data. If I'm selecting if I bought or I sold, I just click this drop down. I can click these boxes, and then at the bottom of this, it's going to calculate all this stuff for me. So, like for example, if a trade goes for a 4-to-1, I'll check this 4-to-1 box, and I'll also check 3-to-1 and 2-to-1 since it hit both of those. And then, since I have all those boxes checked off, if I were to have a static risk to reward, such as like a 2-to-1 or a 3-to-1 or a 4-to-1, I could calculate my win rate if I had a static risk to reward at that risk to reward. And it would just, it shows like, the wins, win rate, total R's captured. And the way I would calculate the total R's captured is for every win, there would be +4, and for every loss, there'd be -1, since it's a 4-to-1 risk to reward. And I also just have the win rate for the days of the week, and all that stuff. So besides that, all I have is just some conditions that I occasionally change, like such as, was it with the trend? Was there a fair value gap? Right now, I haven't been worrying about these because I just want to see what the win rate is, but I'll also put the day of the week and any notes if I need to. But I'm going to come back to where I left off in my back testing. So this is where I left off right here. So I usually come to the charts at 6:30, so I always start my back testing from 6:30 and I stop it around like 10 or 11 because that's when I'd be leaving the charts, because there's really no point in back testing any point that you wouldn't be trading. So I'd come to the charts and I would see this demand zone right here, because I see a lot of aggressive buying came out of this zone, and I also see that we're wicking with this candle right here. So if price were to break above the high of this candle right here, I'd be taking a long position. I have like 150 pips of stop loss. And if I were taking this trade in like the live market, I'd probably put my take profit like up there. But so we just got triggered in right there with that candle, and let's see how this trade would have played out. That candle right there is not looking so good. Yep. We just got stopped out of that trade, so it's okay, that happens. So I'm also gonna come up here in the top right. So see, there's this picture icon, and then you can click copy link. So what that's gonna do is, see, copy the link to your clipboard. So now when I come to my Google Sheets document, I can just paste that right here. And then that trade was on Friday. I did get some wicking at the zone. Didn't really hit any of these. And then it was a buy, and I did the buy at 6:40 a.m. So yeah. And I have no notes for that trade. But I mean, yeah, if you scroll to the bottom though, you can see like my win rate just went down a little bit, and my total R's captured probably went down by 1. But we'll come back to TradingView. Now, at this point, I'm a little confused on my bias, honestly, because we were in a downtrend, but it's more of a consolidation at this point. But I mean, I see there's this demand zone right here, and I see there's this supply zone up here. We never even got to tap into that supply zone. But oh yeah, I'm not looking to trade that zone right there at all. I mean, yeah, I guess that's interesting to me, because I'd call that a demand zone, because I mean there was some pretty aggressive buying that did originate from that zone, and the structure it broke would be like all up here, and I do like the way it's wicking in that zone. So if it were to break above the high of this candle right here, I'd go long. 250 pip stop loss, that's perfect. I would definitely be targeting up there for 3-to-1. So yeah, I'm sure we just got triggered in by like a pip, and then it's not looking so good so far. Wow, that right there is an interesting candle. That's more interesting. Okay, what? That's news, I bet, right? Yeah. I mean, at least it would have hit that 2-to-1. But I guess the thing that confuses me, I'm assuming that would have hit, because I'm sure it didn't go down and then wick up after. It definitely wicked up and then went down. So I'd call that a win on the 2-to-1 at least. So we're just gonna copy the link, and then I got entered in at, I guess we'll call it, yeah, 7:15. So I'll just enter it real quick. Buy at 7:15 a.m. 2-to-1 was hit. There was wicking at the zone. It was Friday still. Now I'll just paste that link, and we're good. Back to the charts. So I'm trying to figure out if I'm even still trading this day, because we just got news at 8:30 and there's news coming out at 10. So yeah, it's Friday too. I'm calling it. I bet, because I mean, even with this trade, that trade would have worked out. Of course it would have. That's kind of funny, honestly. But yeah, I mean, the trade I'm talking about, I won't record it since I said that I would have walked away. But this trade right here, in which it tapped the supply zone and then just went crazy to the downside. But that was aided by news. But we're just gonna fast forward to the following Monday. Well, I always like to, when I go to the next day, I just remove all the drawings, just so it gets a lot cleaner. Now I'll fast forward until 6:30. So what am I seeing here? I do see a demand zone that we're just kind of sitting in. I do see also a kind of grab liquidity here. Yeah, I mean, yeah. But honestly, I like the way it's kind of just consolidating at that zone. So what time is that? That's 6:30. So I'll just say I would have entered on the break of that 6:30 candle. If it breaks above there, I'll put my stop 150 pips. I'm a little concerned it's not going to go above that zone right there. I'm a little concerned it's going to stop there. Because technically, yeah, for following structure. But let's see how that would have played out. Oh, I love when that happens. So now I can get a tighter risk to reward. Yeah, that's a lot better right there. Because now that 2-to-1 is within that supply zone. I like that a lot. So I triggered him right there. Nice. Stop me out immediately. Time to record that. But you gotta remember though, let's say I was trading 2-to-1s, I'd be break even right now since I lost 2 trades and I won 1. And I would have gotten entered into that trade at 6:40 a.m. That was on Monday. Yeah, there's the picture. Cool. So, I mean, yeah, there's some downtrend going on here, I can definitely tell you. So, would I have taken that? No. I want to see it touch that right there. That zone. What is that? What is that? What? There's not even news? Okay. I mean, so yeah, it tapped into that zone. How big would my stop loss be if I were to have taken this trade? You know, in this case, I actually don't know if I would have taken this trade. I guess I would have. Only because, like, that's a lot of volume. I'm sure it's gonna, yeah. It's gonna move with a lot of force. Oh, yeah, yeah, because, like, that one candle went all the way up there and it wicked all the way down. Like, that's a lot to do. Yeah, so this one right here, if I had a high risk to reward, could have paid for all the trades I've just taken in this session right here. So I want to see how far this would have went. And also, I also like to keep in mind too, is there any possible re-entry? But I mean, maybe if I was looking to be aggressive, I could possibly, like, there's this sell-off, right? and then we have this consolidation, this one candle right here, and then it sells off further, pulls back, this candle right here, the break to the downside of that red candle would be an entry again. Put your stop loss above the high of that candle, but that'd be a little too aggressive for me. I don't like that. It's following just too close together. But what time is it? Also, once it gets to like 10:30, I'm out. But I'm just gonna assume this trade would have given me anything I asked of it. Yeah, that's a 10-1. Once it gets up there, I stop counting. So I'll save the picture real quick of this. I'll come back there. So that was a sell, and then I took that trade at 8:20 a.m. So I'll just check off, 2-1, 3-1, 4-1, 5-1, 6-1, 7-1, 8-1. Wicking at the zone. What day of the week was that? Monday still? Wow. Yeah, Monday. Yeah, so there's that. I have no notes for that. So that right there, that trade would have given me anything I asked of it. I'm surprised there was no news. I guess we'll do one more day, and then I'll stop this. So I'll fast forward to Tuesday. I always try to make sure I keep in mind news events. Like if there's high impact news events coming out, I'm most likely closing a trade before then. So it's like there's a building permits coming out. That won't be too bad, but so what do I see here? I mean, I wouldn't have taken it, but I guess the only thing, maybe there's this demand zone here, and then you got the break above right there. Like if you were to enter right there, put your stop loss right there. Looks, in theory, looks like a nice entry. I bet it'll play out. I wouldn't take it, only because I'm afraid it would swipe this liquidity up here and then just turn around. But yeah, which it just did. But yeah, because I mean, see, right after it swiped that liquidity up there, it would have immediately stopped me out. But yeah, so this is just consolidation, another swipe of liquidity to the upside. So since all this upside liquidity has been swept, if it retraces to the supply zone, because see, that supply zone broke like all those lows up here, got closed below right there. So if it retraces to the zone up here, I would take a buy and sell. I'm sorry. I got no retracement though. I mean, even here, like once it came up over here, if it touched that zone, I would have sold, but never gave me an opportunity. I mean here, yeah, no, it never touched the zone. No opportunity. Okay. What time is it? So it's 9:50. It's getting closer to 10. Only because it's so late in the day, I wouldn't take this trade. But I'm also just curious how it would have played out. But I'm not saying I would have taken this trade. That's a 300 pip stop loss. I would have not taken that. Yep. It would have triggered me and stopped me out immediately. There probably was some news that came out around now. But yeah, that's enough backtesting. Typically for like each of the pairs I backtest, I like to get at least like a month's worth of data, and then I'll do that for multiple pairs at a time, and then I'll do like different just like tabs on each of the sheets. Cause I'll just show you real quick. You can add like different tabs, so I could make a copy of that sheet, put it here, and then backtest like a different pair, and then I could combine that and have like one huge master file, which I've done before. And it's really to me, it just makes me feel really accomplished when I can have that huge master file. But with this backtesting, I bet my win rate stayed around the same. If we're being honest here, I mean, in my backtesting, I usually achieve at a 2-1. I'm usually getting around 50% win rate, which honestly isn't that bad. But I'm always looking for ways to improve my strategy and my backtesting. If you have any advice for me, I'd love to hear it. But if you watched all this, thank you, and I hope you have a great day.